Guys, go to patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour for our weekly bonus episodes. They are wild. Ask people who are members of the Fediverse what they think. You will enjoy it. Support the show. We need your money. Coming up right now, I'm in San Francisco, February 9th and 10th. At Cobb's Comedy Club. Then Atlanta, Georgia, February 15th through the 17th. San Diego, Feb 23rd through the 24th. Stanford CT, Connecticut, March 1st and 2nd. The Vic Theater, Chicago, March 8th. Denver, Colorado, March 14th through the 16th. Toronto, March 23rd. Cleveland, March 29th. Tulsa, April 5th. Kansas City, April 11th through the 13th. And we'll get to the other dates coming up. They're all on my website, YannisPappasComedy.com. There's dates in May, June, July, August, September. Go check them out. I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina, and more. Welcome to the Yannis Pappas Hour, everyone. We are in a holding pattern of news until the election happens, until Russia wins or Ukraine wins, or we get into a civil war over wire. There's a lot of states that are ganging up right now, getting ready. Governor Hot Wheels says he's ready. He's ready if federal troops come down. The Civil War Part 2 might be coming. It's a sequel. Who knows if it'll be as good as the first one. There's prisons in Louisiana. The AP did a big report on prisons in Indiana using prison labor to fund all of our McDonald's burgers and everything else, and it sounds a lot like slavery. So that is happening as well. Other than that, it's just E. Jean Carroll, that's her name, in a Bergdorf Goodman's dressing room. She got blasted. She got pinky blasted by a guy running for office, and she got 83 milli for it. And coincidentally, or is it coincidentally, the governor of New York is trying to expand the meaning of rape because in New York State, I think it has to be penile penetration, which the jury found in the Trump case. They couldn't prove it was penile penetration. They thought it was just, index finger penetration. So it doesn't constitute the legal definition of rape. So the timing's weird. The timing's weird that New York expands the legal definition of rape to include many forms of non-consensual sexual conduct. So don't touch anyone in New York. New York is just, look, getting into the metaverse, getting into the virtual reality is going to have a lot of benefits. One of them will be, it'll be impossible to touch someone in New York. That'll be good. You'll be safe. U.S. and China met over fentanyl. Two twins were reunited on TikTok, and syphilis is back. So talk about a sequel, another sequel that we didn't ask for. It's sequels, holding patterns, and the big, big movie coming up right now. The big UFC battle, the big boxing match between the border and abortion. Which issue's going to win in our big election coming up? It's the big game. You can't call it the Super Bowl. It's the big game. It's the big election. Two fucking elderly guys battling out over reproductive rights and a nation's sovereignty under God, individual, and I don't know the rest of how it goes. So this is the Yannis Pappas Hour. Let's get ready to rumble!
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day been long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and there's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who, to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Get this kid screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
Guess what, people? It's demon time on Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You make your pick, submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. Go to prizepicks.com prizepicks.com/Yannis and use the code Yannis for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Yannis and use the code Yannis for a first deposit match up to $100. My friends, Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. So we think we might get sued because I said, let's get ready to rumble, but we're not going to edit it out. We're not going to beep it out. We're going to make Bruce Buffer, whoever said it, come to us. I don't think it was Bruce Buffer, right?
No,
it was one of the other guys.
The other guy, yeah.
Whatever his name
Plus, the
is.
show's not big enough.
Yeah, they don't care. Nobody's coming to look for us for Let's Get Ready to Rumble. But really, let's get ready to rumble. Are we going into Iran? We lost some troops. 3 brave troops were killed by Iranian drones in Jordan, and Biden says he's thinking up a response. That response isn't going to be an email. I'll tell you that right now. We got war hawks on the left and the right. We have for a long time. We have a weapons industrial complex. Weapon sales soared because of the Ukraine war, and then the Israeli war. Weapons. The weapon industry is seeing record profits. And the stock market broke a record. Biden's stock market is soaring, baby. Broke a record the other day. And if you own weapon stock, always good. Is that considered a blue blood?
A blue blood?
Yeah, is that considered like a blue chip?
Yeah, like Raytheon or some of those other ones.
Dude, you gotta buy a little bit of that. You got to buy a little bit of that and then just go like this for a shooting or a war, or it's going to happen. So who knows what he's going to do? Who knows what's going to happen at the border, right? They put the wire up there. The states are uniting. The states that uniting they're all former slave states for the most part. I don't think Rhode Island's getting in on it. I don't think Pennsylvania's getting in on it. I don't think the Northeast is getting in on aligning themselves with Texas. We're going to have a world war in America. The axes and the coalitions are forming. Now, here's the point. Will NATO get involved? Will we be attacked? Like, when we had a former civil war and we had a revolution, there was European powers who got involved on both sides, right? The French were helping us against the British. Some Indian tribes linked up with the British or the French. They all got involved in some way. Like, are we going to have NATO troops coming in on the side of the federal? Or are they going to side with Texas? Who's going to happen? Like, what's going to happen? Russia's going with who? Texas? Right? There's going to be alliances forming. Who's Somalia going to align with? Let's ask Ilhan Omar, because nothing's going to happen. So she is in government only to make sure Somalia gets what it needs. And she gave a speech about that. She made that very clear, that Somalia and Somalian interests are safe as long as she's in office, because she is there to represent Somalia. And of course, Ron DeSantis wants her to catapult her out of the country. He wants to shoot her out like a fucking interballistic continental missile. Interballistic continental missile. And her head kind of looks like a missile head. He wants to shoot her right out back into Somalia. Her speech was crazy, dog. Her speech, I watched her speech. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if she could ever claim, anyone having the interest of Israel in mind in Congress anymore. They're thinking about a foreign country. It's like, well, you just said you were also thinking about a foreign country. Another thing, she was also alluding to Somalia getting some lands back that were lost in the Civil War. Alluding to a war over there. That's tough. So what happened was, I don't know if you know this, first of all, this is the first time I ever learned that there was a Somalia land. You know that there's 2 countries named Somalia? Because it's part of the who gives a shit world. It's part of the world you just wish, goes away. But the ambassador she's the ambassador from Somaliland. And it's a different country than Somalia. She goes Furthermore, her use of ethno-racist rhetoric didn't escape attention and left many with a deep sense of disappointment. So she tweeted, the ambassador from Somaliland. She also said her ignorance of U.S.-Somaliland cooperation in the fight against terror and piracy in the Gulf of Aden and Gulf of... because Somaliland's probably stopping the Somali pirates, right? But I think they're all ethnically Somali. Who knows? But she did say in the speech that she's Somali first, Muslim second, and American ninth. She was basically saying, specifically troubling were her endeavors to revive the once violent and dangerous ideology of Greater Somalia, or Somali Wayne, which caused so much death, destruction, and conflict in the Horn of Africa. So she was alluding to like some lost lands and it's not forgotten and we'll get them back. And so I guess that there was a big civil war over there and a lot of people died. And she was coming in hard for Somalia and the lands that they lost, you know, now that things are settled down. So that made this ambassador upset. And it also, like, she just lost all her, I mean, her speech was a hard right, white supremacist. You could see, like, when she said our blood is tied to the soil, you could really replace the word like Somali and put the white man, and it would be a hard right-wing, nativist, white supremacist argument for her, for America, you know? She also claimed that while in Congress, no one will take Somali's seas. The United States will not back others to rob us, because I guess Ethiopia and Kenya, there's border disputes, there's water piracy, there's arguments over sea rights, whatever's going on over there, they're killing each other. But they're all African. So I'm okay with it, because as long as everyone is sensitive to everyone's culture and there's no racism. That's the only thing. If I don't see racism, murder's fine. There's just no racism. There's no colonialism. So it's just all, it's really these people got to settle it for themselves. That's it. But she's got Somalia's back hard. Now, she was just probably trying to win over her demographic over there, right? Like just talking hard, you know. So she's a politician. I don't think she really cares or believes in anything. You know, she was speaking Somali and then she joked that she doesn't speak it that well. I mean, she's got a honk-a-donk for a boyfriend. So I think she's just a typical politician, but it was a surprising speech. And that's what's funny about it, is you could easily just substitute it for white. And you're going like that speech is a hard right. It was odd to hear out of a progressive's mouth, you know? It's like she's all progressive in the stakes, but when it comes to Somalia, she's a hawk, dog. She is a Greater Somalia, you know, you could call her she's like a Zionist. She's like, or a militant jihadist, Greater Syria advocate. She goes hard. She wants to see lands returned to Somalia. So DeSantis wants to deport her. No left-wing publications have picked up on it. It was only in the Post that I saw her speech. I think it's significant news considering the ambassador from Somaliland tweeted about it. It's significant because of what she said. She's clearly saying, I'm in the house to represent Somalia, and while I'm here, we're going to push this for Somalia. You're going like, don't you represent America? That would be like just giving a speech going like, I'm just, whatever Greece wants, we're going with Greece. Which probably, you know, a Greek politician would probably say to a room full of Greeks. So it's like probably one of those things. Who knows? I don't know. It's racist. It's all racist. Anyway, like I said, the big game's coming up, the election and the Super Bowl. And conservatives are really losing their mind about football being rigged. It's all over the place. They just don't buy the results of the Chiefs season. And they believe that the NFL has rigged this outcome for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to ride off into the sunset and then make a massive Biden endorsement. So basically this whole season is for Biden. Do you buy it? Football is the easiest game to fix, right? The refs can just throw a flag, 15-yard penalty. A quarterback can miss some throws.
You get to a quarterback or maybe a running back.
Maybe a running back, but they switch those a lot.
Yeah, but like a timely fumble.
Timely fumble could do the trick.
Could do the trick.
But the refs really hold. I mean, you more than any sport, a ref can sway a game. You know, holding happens almost on any play. They can call it or not. You know, a roughing the passer, a guy like trips over, you know, breathes on the quarterback after he throws. Vivek Ramaswamy went with the hard data that he has, and he full-blown speculated that the Super Bowl will be rigged for the Chiefs to set the stage for Taylor Swift's Biden endorsement. Why can't... I don't know. I don't know if we have... I mean, the guy speaks well, you know. He says a lot of good things, but I don't know if we have any truly serious candidates left, man. Because I hate doing this because it really doesn't make for good internet content. I just can't help it. Why couldn't she just endorse it anyway? What's the difference? What's the difference in her endorsement if the Chiefs win or they lose? I'm asking you, give me a good reason why a Chiefs win boosts her endorsement. She's not on the football field.
Right.
So I don't get it.
And she just had the biggest concert tour of all time.
Yeah, she don't need the NFL.
Plenty of fans.
She makes more money than the NFL. She's a billion. She's not only a billionaire, she's more than a billionaire. Her tour did $1 billion. So that doesn't even count all the money she's made in her entire career. Her tour this year. Was it 1 year? Was it 1 year? She did a 1-year tour that grossed $1 billion. She clearly is the darling of America. If anything, Travis Kelce's relationship hurts this broad.
Oh, look at it.
She's dating a wigger who plays for the Chiefs.
Oh, this rabbit hole gets pretty deep. Look at this. I didn't realize this.
Is this, who's saying this?
This is Vivek. He went full tinfoil hat.
Is you sure? Because it says Jack Posobiec, who is the Pizza Hut guy. I mean, the Pizzagate guy.
Oh, okay. So, but this is, I guess, what's going on behind the, you know, this is the
on
story.
X.
On X.
This is what's circulating on X. Besides fucking deep fakes of Taylor Swift squirting.
Those were bad.
Which, thank God, Elon Musk lifted the ban on searching her name. She got upset about that. She's a classy girl. Let's be honest. She's a classy girl. She's not, you know, she's the classy girl. Anyway, so thinking this is what Pizzagate guy, Jack Posobiec said. He said, quote, thinking about when Taylor Swift called out the Soros family in 2019 for buying the rights to her music, and then how she came out a super liberal in 2020, wrote him, who's widely known. Yeah. So what does that mean? She came out to Soros?
Right. She got the payday from Soros, right? He bought her whole catalog, and then now she's a super liberal. So he said, I'll buy all your music.
What does that have to do with the NFL?
It's just part of the
part of the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
The whole thing.
Right.
Maybe. It's funner. Dude, I don't know. So Vivek, this is what he said. So he responded to him. Thinking back about when Taylor Swift called out the Soros family in 2000 for buying. Wait, calling them out for buying the rights, was she upset that they bought the rights? Maybe she was upset.
But then why would she come out as super liberal?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're spending time on this. I wonder. Vivek says, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially, culturally propped up culture this fall.
Couple.
First of all, they're not artificially propped up. Everyone wants to see the cutaways. To hate on them, or I guess artificial maybe to get women interested, but women hate, like my wife wants the Chiefs to lose because she hates Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Maybe that's because she's from Long Island.
Yeah.
But she hates women in football. She's one of those. She's like, why is there a female ref? You know, she gets it, basically.
You trained her well.
I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. She came in as a perfectly formed diamond. Long Island trained her well. She's one of those, my wife. So she saw the Chiefs won, and she was like, oh, damn, I got to see more of Taylor Swift. I don't know. I just don't see what the difference, if someone would just take a moment to think about what the difference would be. She's still massive. Her endorsement, I don't think the Chiefs winning is going to increase the magnitude of her endorsement.
Plus, you already know what it's going to be.
You know what it's going to be. There's no surprise.
There's no surprise.
So the Chiefs winning, what does that do?
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to get Kermit the Frog to come out for Biden.
Right.
Yeah. Do they think really, you know that Kelsey catch he made, that crazy catch he made?
Yeah.
They think that was rigged? I mean, you think the D-backs are just going easy on him? The safeties are just letting it happen? He did have a massive game.
Yeah, he played
But
well.
before he started dating Taylor Swift, he was probably the best tight end of all time, him and Gronk. I mean, he's better than Gronk, I think, at this point, you could say.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Well, we'll see.
He's the all-time, he just passed Jerry Rice as the all-time reception yard leader in the postseason.
He's a Hall of Famer.
It's
for sure.
impressive.
Yeah, he's impressive.
He's an impressive kid. I don't think this is true. I hate to say it. I just don't think the NFL's rigged. If it's rigged, it's not rigged for politics. Because most of the NFL fans are right. Okay? You could probably make a direct correlation between football fan and Republican. It's not a Democrat love in sport. It's a Republican love. Democrats like tennis and swimming and chess. They like pickleball. They like hacky sack. They like women, the WNBA. They like volleyball tournaments. And they like women's gymnastics. They're not going to, Bud Light's making a comeback with the Super Bowl with their big ad, not to win over coastal elites and rim glasses. They're not going after the glasses. They're not going after the Warby Parker market. They're going after the Carhartt market, Carhartt jackets. He was very good before he started dating Taylor Swift. I think this is her last relationship, to be honest with you. I don't think they break up. I think Taylor comes from a good home. I really do think her parents supported her. I think that she got a lot of love, and that's why she became so big. A lot of love and support. I think her parents are still together, right? And I think she knows she did the $1 billion tour, and I think now she wants to settle down with a football player, right? She's the popular girl. She wants a football player, and she wants those genes. She's got the blonde hair. She's probably got the German roots. The breeding thing is just in these people. She just sees big, tall, strong, Germanic-looking football player, and they're just trying to make an Uber. They're just trying to make they're trying to make a Nazi baby. They're trying to make a Hitler's wet dream. Talented singer, tall. She's tall. He's tall. She's going to be campaigning for him regardless, right? She's going to tweet out Biden. There ain't no way she's going for Trump. It would be so funny, though, if Travis is a Trump dude and he like the D's so good that he converts her. Like he's got that R. Kelly mind control stuff on Taylor. That would be so funny if she just came out and flipped the lid and just said, because Snoop just flipped.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of rappers are flipping.
Yeah, a lot of blacks are flipping. But it would be so funny if Taylor just, now that the tour's over.
Dude, that is game over.
Dude, if there would be game over if Taylor came out for Donnie Trump.
Yeah.
But it won't happen. I think she's blue. I think she runs blue. Even though her family from Pennsylvania is probably not happy about it.
Yeah, she endorsed Biden in 2020.
She endorsed him. She'll endorse him again. But everyone knows, like you said, there's no surprises.
No surprise.
There's no surprises. if the 49ers win, what does Vivek Ramaswamy do? They're not going to win, right? Because I think
Could be a good game.
it could be a good game.
Yeah.
49ers got a good defense.
Yeah.
They got Debo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy's playing well. That first half was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But if they carry that second half momentum in, but the Chiefs got that. They got that champion. They have that experience. Like you saw the way the Ravens just kind of they couldn't meet the moment.
Mahomes is a winner, dude.
Yeah, they're just winners. He's a winner. He's competitive, and they make the big plays when they need him. So, but if I want the 49ers to win, I got no dog in this fight. I'll probably put money on the Chiefs, but I want the 49ers to win because I just want it to burst. Like Tim Pool tweeted, how old were you when you found out the NFL was rigged? Like they're going all in on the conspiracy that it's rigged. So I want the 49ers to win just so all these people got to backpedal. And then they'll probably go, look, what they did was they wanted to make San Francisco look good because it's a dump. Everyone's eating their own feces on the street. Guys, we got sports going on. We got the big game right around the corner. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to turn every game-changing moment into 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. It is demon time on Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money, Jess. You can do that. All you got to do is go up, go down. Is this person going to score more or less? Is it going to be this or that? Higher or lower? It's very easy, and it's less than 60 seconds. You make your pick. You don't have to, be an expert. You don't got to consult everything. You don't got to know a lot. It's a very easy way to have fun and potentially turn $10 into a G note, which is very nice. And you can play alongside some of Prize Picks' favorite players like rapper Meek Mill, who was very happy about the Lions loss, and comedian Andrew Schultz, my good friend. You can now find community plays under the promos tabs of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. So if you want to follow what they're doing, you can follow what they're doing. It's a community over there. It's a community. Go to prizepicks.com/Yannis and use the code Yannis for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Yannis. Use the code Yannis for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. You know the deal. Pick less, pick more. Or pick more, pick less. It's that easy. By the way, I'm watching the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, like the lady that I am, the concerned feminist that I am. I encourage everyone to watch it.
That's in between Real Housewives?
Dude, no. Listen, I started watching the beginning. I just clicked on it, and I think most people have watched. I know most women have watched it. Right? It was a massive show. I don't know how many dudes turned into that. It's worth turning into. It's worth watching because the level of fucking sick that Robert Kelly is. I have a friend, Robert Kelly. His real name's Robert Kelly. How sick R. Kelly was it is the whole time I'm watching, you just go your mouth is open the whole time about what he did to these women. Like they're girls. I mean, they're 14, 15, 16, 17. He picked a girl up. So his first trial, right? He got acquitted on, right? Which was crazy to begin with. The whole thing is crazy that it started 30 years ago when he started banging a 14-year-old Aaliyah. She was 14. He married her when she was 15, and they were on the cover of like major music magazines together talking about the wedding, and everyone was fine with it. The music industry just gets a pass. Mick Jagger, I think, boned his friend's like teenage girl. Like, you look at the Beatles song, she was just 17. I think the music industry is really the devil's plaything. So it started with him marrying a 15-year-old girl that he started boning when she was 14 years old. For 30 years, this dude had a sex cult of teenagers living in his house that he made pee in a bucket. If they were bad, he made them eat his shit to punish them and to bond on them, to show loyalty. He would eat it. They couldn't talk. They had to call him daddy. He peed in their mouths.
Jesus.
Dude, he was sick. He was a sick kid. So he picked up this 16-year-old that he met outside the courthouse during the trial.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, it is nuts. It is a nuts documentary. Crazy, dude. He got away. The Me Too movement was bound to happen because of dudes like this. He controlled every aspect of these chicks' lives. And a lot of these chicks were bangers. They were bona fide bangers. And he videotaped it all. The jurors watched it. And the worst is these girls had to give the testimony about what he would do to them. And the parents were there just sitting there. And supposedly one of the videos had his music in it. And R. Kelly at the table started going, while they're playing.
Started singing along.
He was pounding the table like he was playing the keyboard to his own music. He was like, I'm on trial. I'm going to go away forever. I got all these multiple fucking child rape charges. But he did the same thing people did when they found out the news. They were like, he's holding these kids hostage from their parents. He's peeing in, he's making them eat shit. And then everyone just goes, but I believe I can fly. So he just did what everybody else did. He said, fuck all that noise.
Listen to this.
Listen to this shit. And here's the thing. I mean, the dude is so talented. It's crazy. I remember he did some performance. He did some song on Jimmy Fallon. And it was a cappella. And I remember watching it going this is nuts, dude. This is the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. I don't know if we'll ever find out a guy who's immensely talented who doesn't have what do you think Justin Timberlake's doing behind closed doors? People got to balance themselves out, right? Is he just a good guy?
No way.
There's no way, right?
There's got to be something wrong with it.
Has anyone gone to his basement and seen what's going on in the basement? There's something going on.
We need to get Vivek on this.
We got to give Vivek's first. So you don't buy that the NFL's rigged?
Oh, hell no.
You don't buy it one bit?
No. What's in it for them? Like you said, what's in it for Taylor
They're
Swift?
already the biggest sport.
Yeah.
How could they get bigger? Yeah.
The Super Bowl gets something like 100 million viewers.
It's the biggest American sport.
Now, you know how much a commercial's going for this year?
What is it, $1 trillion?
$7 million a spot.
So, I mean, what's in it for them?
Nothing.
Maybe the games are tighter. Well,
Right.
I don't understand.
And does the NFL
remember all those Super Bowl blowouts?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, they
did they put a magnet on the ball, and when David Kyrie made that catch, it was like a magnet on.
Yeah.
How do you rig that?
They're not complaining that Taylor's showing up at the game. It's good publicity, obviously.
Yeah, but they don't need it.
They don't need it.
They don't need it.
It's still the highest rating show weekly. Sunday Night Football is the highest.
You know who
rated show.
benefited the most from it? Yeah, this is why. You could just tell people are yelling on X from their emotional brain. They don't take a second to think about it.
Well, it's kind of depressing because this is the state of our political debate.
It's the state of our culture. It's not only in politics, it's the state of our culture where people want to get clicks and views, and it's just much more salacious. You got to remember all these people are just content creators, So our show gets low numbers because I just said something that's kills everyone's buzz. I'm the buzzkill. Dude, it's a party to talk about how it's rigged.
Yeah.
And I'm a buzzkill going all right, let's look at first of all, if anything's rigged, it's not going to be rigged for politics. And it's not going to be rigged for the Democratic Party because football's all Republican, right? They have military fucking flyovers. They got camouflage hats. Yeah, they got the cancer and the race shit in there, but that's being good people in a lot of ways, right? Yeah, the kid kneeled and all that shit, but that hurt football. As soon as the liberal thing got into football, it hurt football, right? The kneeling and the Black Lives Matter. So all conspiracies are about money. If there's a conspiracy, it's not about we're going to do the right thing or we're not. You think these people care about who's in office? They want money, dude. They're in a business. So they're already number one. Number two, voting blue or telling people to vote blue from a football perspective doesn't help football one bit. So there's just no motive. You know who this does help? And this is just too true and too small for Tim Pool to care about or Tim Pool to tweet. It helps the Kansas City Chiefs merch and Kelsey merch. You know who's got helped the most by this is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was not the sought-after sponsor. I mean, the kid's on every fucking commercial now because he's Mr. Swift. He ain't wearing the pants in that fucking relationship. She is the Beyonce of this relationship, and he's not even Jay-Z. He's a football player. He's a good one. Yeah, so Tim Pool, my favorite fucking guy, tweets. He tweeted, how old were you? Did he erase it? I saw the tweet. He goes, how old were you when you learned that here he goes, Taylor Swift went on the record crushing the Soros. Went on the record, here we go, went on to re-record all her songs, crushing the Soros investment's value. So she was upset that Soros.
Yeah, this is confusing. I guess she had a beef back in the day.
Yeah.
Her songs weren't on Spotify for a long time.
Yeah, Tim, maybe because Tim Pool, maybe because she wasn't like thinking all fucking political at the time. She just was mad that her songs got bought or whatever, right? I don't know enough about this. I know nothing about it. So I'm just going to stop talking. There it is. How old were you when you learned the NFL was fake? That's a strong assertion. That's a strong assertion. I just don't see who's going to benefit Vivek. And doesn't Vivek look like a guy who knows a lot about football? Anyway, U.S. and China, Biden and Z have shook hands, and China has agreed to curbing fentanyl. And when Z shook his hand, he went like this, sure, pal, we'll do whatever we can. Talk about someone not having any interest in helping us curb fentanyl. I mean, well, he doesn't care. It's ruining our country. He loves that. Sure, buddy, we'll help you out. Sure, pal, I'll get right on. Do you think he said, I'll get right on that in Chinese?
Oh, yeah. And then he gave him a fortune cookie.
But Chinese agreement expected to slow the flow of fentanyl, but not solve overdose epidemic. Of course not. But let's see if it actually does slow it. Experts say they've agreed to eventually reduce the flow of the deadly opioid fentanyl into the U.S. All the fentanyl comes from China, correct? China is telling its chemical companies to curtail shipments to Latin America and elsewhere. That'll work. It's so profitable. So it's shipped to Latin America, and the materials are used to produce fentanyl, which is largely finished in Mexico. China has also resumed sharing information about suspected trafficking with an international database. Dude, if we can start, collaborating again, that'd be great.
Who?
China and the United States. Because China could easily lead on Russia and just say, stop it. I mean, they're really China's bitch right now. I mean, Russia's not the player it was. Not even close. If China wanted to take Taiwan, they could do it in 3 minutes. Without our help, even if we make weapons for Taiwan, they're taking it in 3 minutes. You're just pouring 18 million single guys just onto the island. They're just dumping them. They're dumping them. Like, when there's a wildfire and they dump the chemicals, they're just dumping Chinamen just right over Taiwan. Russia can't even take the Ukraine, dog. Well, we're giving them a couple guns and some tanks. They still can't take it. So everyone should be happy. If there's any truth to this, please let's hope that there is. But I'm not interested in any of this stuff as much as I am that syphilis is back and that these twins got you reunited on TikTok. Finally, TikTok is good for something positive. But the U.S. hasn't seen syphilis numbers this high since the 1950s. And I think that's because the Democrats, I think Vivek is all over this, and Tim Pool. And I think this is because the Democrats want to distract everybody. But supposedly syphilis went down, gonorrhea's up, but syphilis is more dangerous than gonorrhea. They do say, like most things, that syphilis is much more prominent in the gay and bisexual lifestyles. And perhaps that's why syphilis is so back up, because I think all Gen Zs are touching each other's penises. I think there's a good chance Jared Harvin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. We stayed in an apartment. It could be that black thing too, of like just like fear of gay at all times.
Yeah.
But like at one point I was in my drawers. He's like, "You're in your drawers," and I'm like, "Yeah, I got a shirt and I'm in my drawers. We're two dudes."
You didn't like that?
Huh?
You guys are sharing a bed?
Yeah, no, not a bed. We were sharing a 2-bedroom Airbnb, and I came out of my bedroom. I just get this feeling always that he thinks I'm just gonna like hop on him.
Well,
But maybe it has something to do with the fact that I do a character in a dress.
That's right.
So maybe he's worried about that.
He might have to earn his keep a little bit. You know?
Got to earn your keep. I got no interest in you, Jared. But maybe it's because Gen Zers are maybe if I say right now, Jared Harvin definitely is bisexual because he's Gen Z. He could sue me for defamation and win some money in New York because this bitch is getting $83 million.
That's right.
And I don't even understand what the fucking facts of the case are. It was a Bergdorf. She got finger blasted in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. First of all, she went on Rachel Maddow and she showed what kind of champion she was for women. Can we just watch it real quick? Can you cue it up so it's fast?
Yeah.
So this is E. Jean Carroll. And what's best about this is Rachel Maddow's trying to laugh about it, and her lawyer's trying to laugh about it, but they all know what kind of a hot mess it is. I mean, just watch it. Listen.
To get to help shore up women's rights. Do you know?
Wait, pause it.
What that might be?
So what are you said you're gonna shore up a lot of these women's rights by donating to all these groups. The answer Rachel Maddow was expecting was absolutely. We're working with Me Too. We're working to go to all these charities for domestic violence in certain states. We want to. We're going after sexual abuse, abortion rights, reproductive rights. I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate 90% of my 10% is going to go to my, and she should spin it going, 10% has to go to my psychological costs, my therapy that I still have to go through because of the nightmare that happened to me in that Bergdorf Goodman dressing room where I got finger blasted by a real estate tycoon. That's what you'd expect. Not saying that last part, but alluding to the fact that the rest of it will go to her and her healing journey and her journey of healing. So 90% to groups, 10% to her journey of healing. She went off script or true to her script, and this was the response. And you can just see Rachel Maddow's phony laugh is the best, and her lawyers couldn't even hide it. Her lawyers were going, hee. They were kicking her under the table. She could file a suit against her lawyers for assault for what they did to her legs under that table when you heard this response.
Might look like
Yes, Rachel. Yes. I had such great ideas for all the good I'm going to do with this money. First thing, Rachel, you and I are going to go shopping. We're going to get completely new wardrobes, new shoes, motorcycle for Crowley, new fishing rod for Robbie. Rachel, what do you want? Penthouse? It's yours, Rachel. Penthouse and France? You want France? You want to go fishing in France? No? Oh. All right. Okay.
that's a joke.
That's a joke, everybody. That's a joke.
If me fishing in France could do something for women's
She
rights,
tries
I
to
would
help.
take the hit. You know, I would obviously
Yeah.
take one for the team. All right, let me as if you need persuasion in that regard. Let me finish with a final question.
Awkward.
Yeah. Awkward. You ever see that video of where she lives or whatever?
No.
Pull up E. Jean Carroll's crazy video or home or something. E. Jean Carroll's home. It's really good. These twins on TikTok found each other while you pull that up. And it's crazy because they found out that they were kidnapped at the hospital in Georgia. Georgia's a country in Russia. I'm definitely getting flagged for saying that. Georgia used to be in the USSR. Remember, Putin invaded Georgia in 2008. And apparently over there, the black market, these guys steal the babies. Like they pay off the doctors or whatever. And if like a woman goes into a coma or something, or even not, they steal the babies and sell the babies on the black market. And then Americans end up adopting them and pretending not to know their shady origins. You can't find it, right?
All right, so we got it.
So watch this. Listen to this.
You can't think in New York if you're dating 16 people, which I would be doing if I were in New York. I call it the mouse house because some very distinguished mice live here. This is my shed. And on that side, on the door are the list of my dogs. Marky, Fortuna de las Funky.
She's got a red wig on, or red hair.
Pulled down his pants.
You know, just unzipped.
He unzipped his pants. And this is beyond sexual. I mean, legally, he raped you.
I don't use the word. I have difficulty with the word.
Because you think
see it as a fight.
You don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. You know.
But I think most people think of rape as a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Rape is sexy?
Just going to take a quick break. If you can sit down, we'll talk more.
Cut to commercial.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Oh, boy.
So this was from 30 years ago. And so all the evidence is just her version of it? Like, is there any witnesses or anything? Or we don't know?
It was in a private dressing room in Bergdorf Goodman.
In her private dressing room.
He storms into her dressing room and just takes her against the wall.
Right.
That's her allegation.
Did they know each other? Was there like proof that they knew each other? Probably, or else this would have never went to trial. They knew each other maybe at some point.
Well, I think she's a Vice columnist.
Oh, and he just stormed in there and there you have it.
$83 million later.
So $83 million was for the calling her a whack job?
Right.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
Well, I mean, if you watch the video, I don't know if you could call that slander.
Also, she didn't bring the allegations until 30 years later, until he ran for president.
So it's 30 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. So the rape, the alleged.
It's like Kavanaugh.
happened.
It's like,
right.
Why didn't they bring those? Why didn't she bring the allegations against Kavanaugh when he was a judge before he was in the Supreme Court? I don't know. It's easy to say I could see a possible motive. So he doesn't have to pay the 83 yet because it's going to appeals. And guess what video you will be watching in the appeal court? If you were able to get into that court hearing, you will see that Rachel Maddow interview where she talks about what she's going to do with the buddy. I don't know. I mean, he's a guy who obviously liked the ladies. I could see him doing it because he used to say, you can just grab them. Seems like a move that or maybe they just took that because he says that and said, hey, let's just make a case where you just grabbed one. And then in court, I bet you they said, see, this is a gentleman who says he likes to do that. Maybe he was exaggerating there. Guys will do like that. Or maybe that's his move. Or maybe he really just used to grab them. I mean, back in the day, look what R. Kelly was doing 30 years ago. Look at what everyone was doing 30 years ago. It's possible. And look, Donnie T he liked the ladies. He liked the young ladies. And who knows? But, I mean, there's no evidence. I mean, what's the evidence? I guess the evidence is he's running for president. I don't know. I don't want to, I just don't know. I mean, who can know? How can a jury know? How can you just go on what someone says? Is there there's one fucking witness who heard a commotion in there?
Well, she couldn't remember the exact year. She couldn't remember the exact date. And then she brought a dress in that she wore supposedly when it happened. And they looked at when the dress was manufactured, and the dress wasn't manufactured till years later. So a lot of the details that she provided didn't really add up.
So that's not looking very good at all. That's not looking very good at all. It looks, it appears that they're trying, and they really want him. They don't want to run against him, and they just really want to take him down. I mean, the Russia things, and then you bring that up, and they go, it wasn't bullshit. They got 17 indictments or something like that, but they got some Papadakis kid. They got some who was accepting the help from the Russians or open to hearing it or whatever. Yeah, he was a little wild by saying, Russia, if you're listening. He was wild by saying to Ukraine, if you release this, I'll give you financial. He's wild. He's absolutely wild. He's unprofessional. He's said some fucking wild things. He's tweeted some fucking wild things. He's absolutely predictably unpredictable, I'd say. He's not responsible with the things he says as the president, for sure. But everyone forgets, back then, they were alleging that he was like a Russian asset. They were alleging like he was a direct Russian asset. And there was some tape where he was, maybe was this during the Surviving R. Kelly? That came out in 2018. When was the election?
2020. No, 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
So that was probably around the time they were making Surviving R. Kelly. You think maybe they just threw Surviving R. Kelly in like, hey, he likes to get peed on or peeing. Supposedly that dossier, he was like, he peed on some Russian hooker, which also I could see happening as well. I could see him asking a Russian hooker to pee on him. I could see it. But there's no evidence of it. And that thing just kind of went away. It just kind of was like, in fact, what ended up happening was Hillary Clinton's campaign ended up paying a fine for that. $250,000 fine for that.
Well, they funded the Steele dossier, didn't they?
Because they funded the Steele dossier, they got fined $250,000. The Russia investigation did bear some fruits, though. There was some, right? There was some. I remember there was some, but nothing that directly got to Trump. A couple people in his campaign, whatever, but nothing that touched the Teflon Don. So they really have been trying to stop him. There's a real fear of him, the dictator thing. It only makes it worse, I think.
Yeah,
I
agree with you. It looks like they're weaponizing the DOJ to take him out.
To try like 91 indictments.
It feels very third world.
Yeah, he doesn't help his cause by just going on and on about how the election was rigged, though.
Well, they're feeding the beast by doing this with all these allegations and all these, indictments. They're just feeding his
what he's saying.
What he's saying.
Yeah, they're
He's
just
like,
making it look more and more like
a conspiracy.
A conspiracy to get him. And then you look at this together individual. Maybe because of what happened to her in that dressing room, she's like that. Or maybe she's just quirky. I can't judge.
Be careful. She's litigious.
She is very litigious. 30 years later, on her own, decided to come forward. It is what it is. It is what it is. This issue will come down to who's got more charisma. So let's do the matchup. Okay, this is an MMA matchup. Who's got the farther reach? I think Biden's got the farther reach because there's just more Democrats in the country. So by the numbers, if there was no electoral college, I don't know if there would be a Republican. It would be so hard to get a Republican in, right? You got those states, they got no people, but they got votes, electoral college votes. So the reach advantage we give to Biden. The experience, political experience, you give to Biden. The youth you give to Trump, which is a soft give because he's also no spring chickie. The 9 rappers who are supporting Donald Trump. Who do you give the gift of gab game?
Oh, that's a
big advantage. That's a big advantage. That's a big advantage. It's a huge advantage. The knockout blows. Knockout power. We'll say that. Knockout power, I'm going to give to Donald Trump. I'm going to give Donald Trump the nod. Scandals, I'm going to give Biden. There's just one laptop on him. And the other stuff just doesn't stick. He plagiarized the whole fucking thing when he was a professor or something, but it just doesn't stick. It just doesn't stick. Trump's got a lot more scandals, whether they're created. I don't even think, even if you take away the ones that you suspect are created, the kid's got a lot of scandals. He did say on a hot mic he likes to grab women by the pussy, and that was one of the many things he's done. He's got a lot of scandals. But don't worry, Lil Pump's coming out for him.
He's got a little pump.
The rap world they used to embrace him so much, they may be re-embracing.
They're coming back,
They
man.
may be coming back.
They got Betty the Butcher.
Betty the Butcher is coming out hard for Trump. OGZ's on board.
Yo, he's
Waka
got-
Flocka Flame.
He's got Waka.
He's got Waka Flocka's on board. Originally, Azalea Banks is on board. We got some heavy hitters. We got Bandman Kivo. These are basically the Scott Baio of rappers. The Republicans always get the like second string celebrities.
I don't know. We've been out of the game for a while, so we don't know who's hot. You know,
Kodak Black, is he hot? Jared could tell us. I don't.
Yeah, we need
but this
Jared to
ain't
tell us.
mainstream guys. You're not talking. You're not getting like a Chief Keef. You're not getting any.
Who are you talking about? Jay-Z's retired, dog.
You're not giving, but you're not getting any even like big. Dog. You're not getting a Drake. You're not getting. Who else? Yeah, we're out of the game, man.
Right, yeah, I'm telling
Who are
you.
the big rappers now? Chief Keef might be huge, right? I know Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper ain't no way going red.
Who's Eminem vote for?
I don't know, but how do you think Machine Gun Kelly and Meek Mill celebrated the Lions' loss? Bottle of champagne. You think they called each other and popped a bottle of champagne? Remember, he destroyed Meek Mill and Ja Rule.
Who?
Eminem. He destroyed all their careers.
Big Lions fan, yeah.
I mean, dog. I mean, the kid Machine Gun Kelly put on a pink wig after that and started doing rock and roll after that battle. So there's no way that Machine Gun Kelly didn't celebrate that Lions loss. So there you have it, folks. It's coming down to the border versus abortion. So, and the tell of the tape, which issue do you think is going to hurt who more? Will abortion, because the border hurts the Democrats and abortion hurts the Republicans, I believe. The majority of the population is female. I mean, right now, there was an article that was like 40,000, I don't even remember how many thousands of rape babies that are coming into the world. It's going to be an interesting future in America with migrants and rape babies. I mean, there's just going to be a whole, do you know that these kids they're being born from a rape because these states have no allowances for rape. So the women, in order not to go to jail, they had to give birth to a rapist's baby. Jesus Christ.
I mean, are the rape numbers insane? What, is it like?
Yeah, pull up the art. I mean, there's an article.
How many women are getting raped in?
I think rape happens a lot, man.
Yeah.
I think it happens a lot.
A lot of rapes going down in Mississippi.
Dude, I think that's the only way that happens in Mississippi. What do you think they do a date night in Mississippi?
Go to Applebee's.
I mean, dog, the reading level, you wanted to look at the Mississippi's reading level outside of the University of Mississippi is pretty bad.
Oh, damn.
Alaska saw the highest rape rate in America, 134 rapes per 100,000 inhabitants. The lowest rape was found in New Jersey with only 16. So listen, ladies, if you don't want to get raped, Jersey's your place. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it happens a lot. I really do think it happens a lot. I think a lot of ugly stuff happens a lot, more than we're comfortable with. I think there's a lot of abuse of women. I think it's gotten a lot better. It's obviously not nearly as bad as India's problem. But let's see where, well, that's CNN. But anyway, yeah, there's an article that just came out about what's expected, what's projected to be the births from forced births from rape. Obviously, there's going to be some, maybe the number's inflated, but there's going to be some babies born. How do you can't cold plunge that away when you grow up knowing that you were a rape baby? That's good. Dude, you know that adopted kids have it's like a proven, but study after study that they have like that group has a high rate of criminality because it's just like the chances of you becoming messed up if you were adopted are higher. I mean, look at Joe DeRosa. Imagine being, because obviously you were unwanted and given away, and that's just a hole that's hard to fill. But imagine you coming into forced into the world as a rape baby. I say, we weaponize it right into the military from birth, like the Spartans. They got a lot of anger in them. I mean, if they take after their father, we're in good shape. China may have 18 million single men. If we have 65,000 rape baby Marines with anger issues, I think we win. Want to give a small business shout out to our boy Jared Z at exclusiveautoshipping.com. Guys, if you're moving your car out of state, if you bought your car out of state, and if you're, student and military discounts for you also at exclusiveautoshipping.com. Also, Chris Minetti, our guy who wants to buy the old sign. Call him up, 215-750-3730. You say, why call Chris? Why call a guy named Chris Minetti? Nothing good could come out of having somebody pick up the phone and go with a Philly accent, hello? Hello? Well, let me tell you something. He will cash your business check at Minetti Financial Services in the South Jersey and Philly area at his esteemed office, wherever it may be. Just the phone number. For the free .art is music in Hawaii. Their credit card still works. DisplayPros.net. These guys do good stuff, Jess. You get 10% off if you mention my name. They're the real deal when it comes to custom trade booths, retail fixtures, and promotional items. Did you know that? Good customer service as well. You can expect excellent customer service. They'll build you anything. If it's your first time exhibiting or you're a marketing pro, they can help. Go to DisplayPros.net. Then we got MAInsuranceServices.com. They give you insurance. What kind of insurance do you need? Matthew Albani's got you covered. You don't got to go with the big ones. You don't got to go with a commercial you see on TV. Don't trust the TV. It's all rigged for the Democratic Party anyway. Okay? You don't trust them. They're all donating to Biden. They're all part of the Biden crime family. You go with the true blue ride or die, St. Petersburg, Florida, located insurance company, Ma Insurance Services. They're great. They offer professional liability, general liability, property, auto, commercial property, workers' comp, umbrella programs. I mean, what do you want? Umbrella packages? They're not programs. You're not going into a program or program. They are a program. So call us today. I love us. Call Matthew and learn more about how we can help protect your business, he says. At 813-260-0338 or visit their website at MAInsuranceServices.com. You'll be happy to know this show is covered by MAInsuranceServices.com. So if Jesse slaps me or I slap Jesse, we're covered. Then we got Capper Tech. Capper Tech has all the sports betting tools you need, Jesse Scaturo. All the tools and content you need to help you win. You know what Capper Tech does? They use machine learning AI to simulate game results and give you the best betting advice available. Guess what? 100% free. No BS. Go to cappertech.com or download the Capper Tech app in the App Store or Google Play. Cappertech.com. Rebels Raider. I love my bag. I have one. It's what it is. It's what I use on the road now. It's got the little buckle here. You know, the buckle. This buckle here is so important. Like, because otherwise it kind of always slips over your shoulders, you know?
Yep.
Not to bring up Joe DeRosa again, but I don't even know how that guy wears a backpack without the strap here with his shoulders. But it's got the thing where you clip it here and then you can walk freely in the airport. I fit so much in this bag. It's incredible. So go to rebels-raiders.com for your high-end tactical backpacks, pouches, backpacks, packs for everyday carry outside activities, hiking, trail running, traveling, whatever. They're so good. It's the best bag I had. It even's got a slot inside for the lab tack that's padded on both sides. It's incredible. And thinkingman.substack.com. It's a New York City-based newsletter that publishes articles, essays, thoughts on things like books, movies, pop culture, and politics. Did they write anything on how Barbie got snubbed? I watched 10 minutes of that movie. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. So what's the outrage about?
Oh, the patriarchy, obviously.
You watched it, right?
Yeah.
It sucked?
It was like 5 movies in one.
It's so stupid.
It wasn't a great movie.
I didn't even know what was going
The
on.
performances were good, the sets and the art direction was good, but the story was a little wonky.
Yeah, I mean, so was Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. That stunk too.
Yeah,
That was a stinker. Anyway, go check them out. thinkingman.substack.com. It's free too, or you can subscribe. You can subscribe for $5 a month. So go support them.